Hey guys, what is up? It's Sonic Hot. I am so fucking hot right now. It's 104 degrees Fahrenheit in Minnesota. It is a fucking heat wave. I just got back from watching Star Trek Beyond, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. I also like the homage to the original cast and crew from the original Star Trek series, because there's actually kind of a broken continuity. It's really bright outside, holy shit. And the whole movie was put together pretty decently well. There was a few flaws with it, but for the most part, I found it incredibly entertaining. And now I want to get to some little bit of tips and tricks. And if you guys haven't seen the video from the Jwitz yet on Pokemon Go, I highly suggest that you watch his video. He gets into a great deal of detail. Now, as an Ingress player, that's what my wristbands mean. Ingress is made by Niantic, and of course Pokemon Go is made by the same company. Niantic teamed up with Nintendo to create the game. That being said, since the game is roughly just over a week old, it's in its infancy. There's going to be glitches and hiccups here and there, but it's still a pretty good game. They only got the Kanto series Pokemon right now, but I do believe that down the road more Pokemon will be added. Now here's a couple of the secrets. In Ingress, many, but not all, of the portals either became Pokestops in Pokemon Go, or they became Pokemon gyms, where you can battle other Pokemon. So, that being said, you can sign up for an Ingress account just for the sake of seeing where on Intel portals may be, and potentially where Pokestops will be. And if you guys want to play Ingress, I highly suggest you join the Resistance. No pressure, much. Well, anyway, I was looking on the Ingress Intel website, and of course, in many areas in populated cities, like where I live here in downtown Anoka, there are lots and lots of portals, and people tend to hang around these areas, and they'll put lures in the Pokestops, and they just sit there and farm and throw Pokeballs, and you know, it literally is just a grind fest. So that's what you do. You find a group of friends who are all playing Pokemon Go, and you find a good place to sit around that's surrounded by portals, and you put up lures at the stops. And then you just spin them every 5 minutes. They reset every 5 minutes, all the Pokestops, and they'll just spew out gear. They'll spew out Pokeballs. And as you level up, you'll get access to more and more powerful Pokeballs, like the Great Ball, and the Ultra Ball, and eventually the Master Ball, I believe. Now, I only just hit level 20 recently, and I'm kind of playing this game a little bit slowly because I don't want to burn myself out in this. I want to explore and have fun. And I switched between Ingress and Pokemon Go because a lot of the areas that I need to find in Ingress are also there in Pokemon Go, and I just kind of flip-flop between the two. A couple of other tips while I can't figure out how to English today because I'm kind of tired. It's too hot. Is the Pokemon ball throwing when you're going to catch a Pokemon. You'll notice that there are two circles, the outside circle and the inside circle. The outside circle is white. That is pretty much where your Pokeball needs to go. The inside circle is the trick. Now, the inside circle can be colored anywhere from a shade from green to yellow to red. The closer to red that inner ring becomes, the more difficult it is for you to catch the Pokemon. To assist with catching Pokemon, you want to use raspberries. These little berries will drop from Pokestops and will be given to you as you level and progress. You go into your items, access your raspberry, and you tap the screen to feed it to the Pokemon. And that will make your Pokemon's affection go up a little bit more, making it slightly easier for you to catch. It's not always 100% guarantee, but it'll make it easier for you to catch. I find that Pokemon with higher CP, I believe CP stands for combat power, tend to be more resistant to being caught. So use your good Pokeballs, like your Great Balls and Master Balls or Ultra Balls, on the tougher Pokemon, the ones that show up in orange and red, and use raspberries if all possible. The second trick is, with that inside ring, you want to twirl your Pokeball in a circle until it starts to sparkle, and then you're going to flick it forward, and depending upon how you curved the ball, how you were twirling it on the screen, if you're twirling it toward the right, it's going to curve toward the left, so you want to flick it toward the right. And if you land inside that inside circle, like the green circle, or the yellow circle, or the red circle, as it gets smaller and smaller, try to aim for a bullseye if at all possible. Because the smaller the circle it is, and if you're inside that circle, will determine just how good of a throw that you get. You can get a nice throw, you can get a great throw, or you can get an excellent throw. And when you get those really good throws, they give you bonus points. So again, twirl the ball, watch the ring, focus in toward the center of the Pokemon. You want that inner ring as small as possible before you release the ball, and you want to get the ball released so that it hits the Pokemon just inside that ring. The closer inside the ring you get, the higher the chance you have catching the Pokemon. Again, never 100% guarantee. Anything can break out of a Pokeball. There's just never 100% chance. It just means that when the ring is green, your chances are really high of catching, but not guaranteed. If the ring is red or dark orange, your chances are pretty low. So you want to use the raspberries and good balls for that. So that is my second tip. As you're walking out and about, go into your settings and basically turn into power save mode, so that when you flip your phone upside down, it will disable the screen, but the app will stay running in the background, allowing you to accumulate walking distance. And walking distance is used for the egg incubators. The eggs will come from Pokestops. Now, the eggs have been determined to have several different types of Pokemon. The 2-kilometer eggs are going to have generally basic Pokemon. The 5-kilometer eggs will have less common Pokemon, and the 10-kilometer eggs will have the least common Pokemon, except for Eevee, which somehow hatches out of a 10-kilometer egg. I don't know why. I caught a bunch of Eevees just strolling through downtown Anoka. But I managed to get a Scyther out of a 10-kilometer egg. I was pretty happy with that. One of my first eggs that I hatched, I can't remember if it was a 5 or 10-kilometer, but I got a Cubone, and I thought that was pretty cute. So that is what you have to do. Now, with the egg incubators, you can, if you want, spend money to get coins to buy these incubators, or incubators will just be given to you as you level. The breakable incubators, the ones that have 3 uses, use those on your really long eggs, your 5 and your 10-kilometer eggs, preferably your 10-kilometer ones. Use the 2-kilometer eggs on the infinite use incubator that you have, so you're not wasting resources. It's just the most efficient use of those things. Now, some other tips and tricks as far as I've been able to tell. When you're battling in gyms, the Jwitz did a really good job in trying to describe how the gyms work, although it's still a little bit fuzzy. And sidetrack a bit, they didn't really give people a very detailed tutorial on how the game works, just a general synopsis. So people tend to rely on us gamers to try to figure these things out. And really, just the more you play with it, the more you'll understand. But some things just won't be possible to understand until you're told what they are, namely the Pokeball tossing thing. But as far as the gyms go, what you want to do is, when you're in the gyms and you're going to battle, tapping on your enemy Pokemon is going to use your Pokemon's basic attack, and then tap and hold for a few seconds to let go is going to use its secondary attack. Dodging has to deal with either swiping left or right as you're in battle. And when you want to dodge, you want to take a close look at the screen. The bottom part of the screen will flash a yellowish orange, letting you know and signifying that a Pokemon is going to attack. That is when you need to dodge. Don't watch the animations of the attack on the screen from the Pokemon that is trying to attack you. Watch the ground. That will let you know when you need to dodge. At least that is what the Jwitz says. But I'm just relaying that, and so far for me it has worked and can help you in very difficult situations. Now, just as in previous Pokemon games, there are strengths and weaknesses. I can't English today. There are strengths and weaknesses of the Pokemon They will be strong to some attacks, they'll be weak to some other attacks. And there are guides on the internet that can show you who's strong against what and who's weak against what. So kind of pay attention to that. And sometimes it boils down to common sense. Like electric types are going to be strong against water types because electricity flows through water. Yeah, that's science. So, yeah, just one example of that. So just pay attention to the types. When you are leveling up, it is very important that you not waste your Stardust. I know it's really tempting to use that Stardust to boost your Pokemon. I made the mistake. Don't. Because as you progress through later levels, you will eventually catch higher and higher CP Pokemon. You will get more powerful Pokemon down the road that you will not have to waste Stardust on. Also, the evolutions will also get more powerful as you level, and I've actually noticed that my Pidgeot was weaker than my Pidgeotto, the previous evolution. So I basically sacrificed my Pidgeot, and now I got a Pidgeotto, and I'm waiting for more Pidgeys to give him Pidgey candies to evolve him again, and eventually I'll get a stronger monster. Which leads me to another trick. Leveling. You notice those lucky eggs sometimes you get? If you don't know what they are, they'll be given to you as you level, but also you can buy them from the store. Lucky eggs will double your experience given to you in 30 minutes. And what you want to do, and this has been mentioned by many channels, and I'm going to mention it here too, capture as many Weedles, Caterpies, and Pidgeys as you can. Fill up your Pokemon bags with those Pokemon. Why? Because you want to savor their candies. And then you go into your items and you hit the Pokemon Lucky Egg. And then once you have that Lucky Egg activated, go in and start evolving. Evolve. Because instead of getting 600 or 500 experience for leveling a Pokemon, you will get 1,000 experience for leveling a Pokemon, which will help you blast through those levels really quickly. So, capture all the Pidgeys and Weedles and Caterpies as you can, but evolve them only one time, because that first evolution takes only a mere 12 candy, and it gets really easy to get those candies. Once you have their evolved forms, you can go ahead and transfer them to Professor Willow, which he will give you another candy back, which you can use those candies again to level up the rest of your Pokemon. And those lucky eggs, they're really helpful, but you only want to use those lucky eggs for evolution, not when you're out and about trying to catch Pokemon, because the amount of experience that you get, you don't know when Pokemon are going to show up. Out in the field, you'll actually see on your map there are areas that have like leaves floating everywhere, and those leaves basically signify the increased chance of discovering a Pokemon. Also, pay attention to the Pokemon search finder in the lower right hand corner, whatever you want to call it, the gauge, I don't know. You want to look at it, and it will kind of let you know in little pulsates. It either glows in like yellow or green and pulsates more and more as you get closer to the Pokemon. When you tap on that list, you'll see like a square of 9 Pokemon, and underneath the Pokemon you'll see little paw prints. 3 paw prints means you're going to have to walk for a little bit to get to this guy. 2 paw prints means a little bit less walking, but you still need to walk a bit. 1 paw print means it's close by, just gotta get out and move. And then if there's no paw prints, that means you're right on top of it, it will eventually show up. Just kind of walk in circles. And keep those incubators activated while you're walking, because that will actually count towards your miles. Oh, and a little fun tip, if you happen to be driving, don't play Pokemon Go and drive. That is so stupid. Because while your phone and your fingers are on your screen, you're not paying attention to what's in front of you. You need to be paying attention to what's in front of you if you're in a car. But, that being said though, if you don't want to pay attention to your screen, just keep your Pokemon Go app running when you're in rush hour traffic and you're doing less than 10 miles an hour, because that will eventually count towards your walking, which is really cheap. Because after 10 miles an hour or so, you get speed locked and you will no longer be able to incubate eggs. So, yeah, another tip. I wonder what other stuff I can think about, because this game tends to have a lot of different secrets in it, And we haven't even uncovered everything. There was already somebody out there who captured a Mew. I didn't even think there was a Mew in the game. The Pokédex only registers up to like 131 or something like that. So I haven't seen a Mew, but apparently they're in a game. They're extremely rare. So something or other. And I guess this game is going to be focused on world travel because, according to some sources, I don't know if this is true or not, some Pokemon will not appear on certain continents, but they will still be hatchable from eggs. So we'll see what happens. Again, this game is in its infancy. There's a lot of things to do, and there's little bugs here and there. I believe there is a website. Or basically, what's the website name? Is Pokemon Up or Down or something like that .com? I can't remember, but there's a server out there that shows you the status of the Pokemon Go servers. I can't brain today for some reason. I've been so tired for all this damn heat. So yes, check out that website or do a Google search for it. Is Pokemon Go Up or Down? I can't remember the name of the website. Brain, it doesn't want to function right now. So that is my tips and tricks. And if you guys have any other tips or suggestions for Pokemon Go, please post them in the comment section below, and I will read every single comment that comes in. I will read every single comment, although I cannot promise that I will respond to every one of them. But I will say this much: Pokemon Go has been a lot of fun. It's a little bit grindy right now, but I think that additional features will be made to the game down the road as the game progresses, because when Ingress first started, it was pretty bare bones itself until it got more evolved, and then there were strategies, and then finally they streamlined everything that works nice now. Ingress barely has any issues, but Pokemon Go, there's a lot of traffic. There are more Pokemon Go accounts than there are Twitter accounts, and that's nuts. There was a couple fun videos, I think. Rasbosky and Jacksepticeye were playing Pokemon Go, and then now a whole bunch of Pokemon Go videos are up on the internet. And some guy grabbed his laptop and linked it into his web server and did video streaming out in the open with his mobile phone. So he's sitting there playing Pokemon Go out in the streets, and he's doing a webcast. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. I want to do live streaming while I'm out in the car. Maybe. No, that just probably wouldn't be a good idea. Because Sprint's network is not strong enough for that. But anywho, enough babbling out of me. You guys have yourselves a fun, wonderful time. Stay safe out there when you're playing Pokemon Go. Pay attention to the roads that you're crossing, and please respect people's property. If it's private property, I don't care if there's a Pokestop there or a Pokemon that you really want to get. Stay off. And if there is a place that you want to walk to, but it seems sealed off, talk to the people. Go up and ask them, can we walk in your property before you do it? You don't want to trespass. You don't want to get in trouble. So please, just mind your P's and Q's when you're out there, guys. And as always, never underestimate the power of a gamer. You guys have yourselves a good night. Peace.